Hello and welcome back to the Dandelion Diaries. I have a little bit of a different setup today with some new lighting, so let me know what you think in the comments. But today we're going to be doing my August 2023 currently inked. So these are all the pens we have. I have a mix of my, I guess, lower end pens this time. I still consider these fabulous writers, and they're hands down some of my favorites, honestly. So I have some TWISBIs in here, some Kawecos, my Sailor Compass, and then some Pilot Metropolitans, and then all of the swatches for each one. So I'm going to zoom you guys in and we'll get started with my very first pen. So starting off, my very first pen I have inked for the month of August of 2023 is my Pilot Metropolitan in gold, and this has a medium nib. I currently have this one inked with Sailor Ink Studio 162. A Pilot Metropolitan was actually the very first pen I ever owned, and I'm so happy that I saved cartridges that I can refill with whatever ink I want, just because when you get a Pilot Metropolitan, they typically come with a different kind of converter that's like a squishy one. I don't like it. It doesn't hold enough ink, so I like to refill my cartridges for this kind of stuff. The next pen I have is my Kaweco Sport in Iridescent Pearl, and this one is a medium nib, and it is currently inked with Monteverde Birthday Cake. I definitely misspelled birthday cake, but that's okay. Monteverde Birthday Cake is this beautiful purple color, and I think it looks really nice in this medium style nib. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do a purple or a pink for this pen because it is iridescent and I feel like it could take on any color, but I was really happy with the coolness of this purple, and I think it matches the theme that I'm going with for this month. The next pen I have inked up for August is going to be another Pilot Metropolitan, and this one is in the black model. This one has a fine nib and is inked with Waringall's Human Problem, which is also known as Human Issue. And I've talked about how I don't typically use red inks, but I wanted to make sure I included this one because I feel like in the summertime, bright red is a common color just between sunburns and injuries and other things that happen in the summertime. But for now, I think it looks really nice, and this is one of my favorite red inks if I had to choose a favorite. Next, we have my Sailor Compass 1911 in Transparent Olive, and I have this inked up with Pilot Iroshizuku Yu-Yaki, otherwise known as Sunset. And this one does have a medium fine nib, and I really wanted to include a bright orange color in my lineup this month, again because it is summertime and I feel like bright orange is a really good color to come up with. The next pen I have inked up is my TWISBI Eco Tea in Jade, and this is the rose gold limited edition one, I believe, and I have it inked with 3 Oysters Delicious Mustard. And let me just say, out of all of the yellow inks I've ever tried, this is one of my favorites. And this TWISBI is in a broad nib, and if you've ever used a TWISBI before, you probably know that a TWISBI broad is more like a double broad in most other cases. The second to last pen I have inked up for the month of August is another Kaweco Sport, and this one is in Macchiato, and this one is the broad nib. I do interchange the nibs of my Kawecos a lot, so if there's an ink that I really want to showcase, I'll make sure to change the nib out, and that's what I did for this one. I originally was going to use a fine nib in this pen, but I changed it to the broad after I saw what the ink looked like. And you will probably see that I misspell lots of things. This was just not my day when it came to spelling. But I inked this Kaweco Sport with Fair Swill Press Oyster Hour, and it was like a sandy beige color, which is what I wanted, and you'll see because I have named this color scheme that I'm going with kind of interestingly, and I hope y'all will get my joke when I tell you the name. And the last pen I have inked up is my TWISBI White Rose Gold. This is a TWISBI Eco White Rose Gold, and it has Papery Plumes Oyster as the oyster gray as the ink. And this TWISBI is in a fine nib. So now that we have all of them laid down, I'm going to go ahead and show you what the ink swatches look like next to the writing. So this is Sailor Ink Studio 162, Monteverde Birthday Cake, 𝗦𝘃𝗃𝗁 Human Problem or Human Issue, 𝗦𝘃𝗽𝗃 𝗦𝘂𝗽𝗃 or Sunset, 3 Oysters Mustard or Delicious Mustard, 𝗦𝘃𝗀𝗄𝗏 Oyster Hour, there you go, and then Papery Plumes Oyster Gray. So now that I've kind of laid all the colors down for you, I want to explain my naming system for this month. And the name that I decided to go with was Summer at the Bay. And the reason I decided to go with Summer at the Bay was because oysters are found in the bay. And I have not just one, not even 2, but 3 inks that literally have oyster either in the brand or the name of the ink. And then on top of that, I also have an ink called Birthday Cake, and I have an ink called Human Problem. And to me, that means that it's a birthday party in the summer, and there's going to be cake, but you may have a problem because you may, cut yourself in the reef at the bay, or maybe you cut yourself cutting the cake. And then all of this is taking place in the sunset because we have 𝗂𝘃𝗃𝗁 there, right? So we have summertime, birthday cake, cut your finger during the sunset at the Oyster Bay. And then the only ink I have left to really include into the naming system is Sailor Ink Studio 162. And the only way I can see this is it's probably the color of the water, that kind of like greenish, bluish color, the teal color. But you tell me what you guys think. I feel like it's an appropriate name between like the colors that I picked kind of being more muted and sandy, but colorful at the same time. I hope you guys understand my joke in my naming system by naming it Summer at the Bay. But as always, I'm excited to hear what you guys think I should call it, because I think it's always fun to hear the naming system that you guys come up with. Alright guys, that is all I have for the month of August for my currently inked. I have 7 pens like normal. I hope you enjoyed the colors that I picked. I feel like it's a really good muted rainbow, kind of summery but still cool toned because it's really hot. And I hope you like my Summer at the Bay because of all the oysters and the possibility of having a birthday party and a sunset and some other things. I'm trying to be creative with my name, so let me know what you guys think. If you're interested in more content from me, I do have an Instagram and I will leave my handle on the screen. And if you are interested in any of the other currently inked or ink progress reports I have done, I will leave the playlist down in the description. But for now, I thank you guys so much for watching, and I love you and appreciate you so much. I will see you in the next one. Bye.